Hi, so this is part two of my West End Live Weekend Away vlog. I've had a cup of tea and I've changed my lipstick, so I'm ready to go for a bit more. Yay! I know you're all so excited. Yeah, so I'm not gonna do like Saturday at 11 this happened and 11:15 this happened. I'm not gonna do that because it'll just be never ending. And there's some things that they did the same thing as last year, so it's no point me really going into a minute amount of detail about it when I can just go, yeah, just see what I did then. I was staying at a different place this time. Stayed at a place where I had like a little kitchenette in the room, and so I could do my own breakfast. So I didn't have to wait for breakfast, and I could get there nice and early. So I was there for like 7:15 both days. Yeah, doors opened at 10:15 on the Saturday and 11:15 on the Sunday, but I was there at 7:15, and I took a book. That's my top tip. These are the things I've learned this year. Take a bit of Sherlock Holmes to tide you over, because otherwise, like 3.5, 4 hours is a long time to kill. I mean, you get talking to people in the queue. I was speaking to like a mother and daughter and a father and daughter ahead of me in the queue on the Saturday. So it's fine, but it's just a long time to kill. But I did get really good spot by stage on both days, so worth it, definitely. Got some really, really good photos and some really, really good videos, which I will post. I'll put like a little, I don't know, like a link or whatever underneath the actual blog post of this video, because I know you're all that bothered, right? Yeah. So Saturday, what happened on Saturday? Aladdin opened it, which I'm going to be gutted when Aladdin closes, even though I haven't seen it, because it means that there'll be no more Trevor Dion-Nichols opening West End Live. That man is like, I've got the book in front of me, by the way. That man is like the human version of partying. Like, if you were to personify a party, it would be him. I just think he's really, really cool. He's like up for it all the time. So yeah, Aladdin came and did like the same set that they've done the last couple of years. They did A Whole New World, Proud of You Boy, Friend Like Me. That won't be there next year though, so I can see why they did the biggies. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a great way to kick it off. After that was The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, which the kid in it, oh my god, the kid playing Adrian was brilliant. It was so expressive in like his face and his whole entire body, and he was just, if Harry Potter and Bruno from The Witches somehow had a love child, they would have produced this kid. He was brilliant. He would just looked like that, like a little chubby Harry Potter Bruno hybrid. They had all the characters, you know, he mentioned his mum, his nana and his dad and Mr. Scruton, and Nigel was on there and Pandora. So it felt very much like it was true to the books. Nigel introduced into Big and Bouncy magazine like he does in the book, which I'd forgotten. And Adrian says, yeah, I'm really interested in it, but it objectifies women, so I feel conflicted. And the whole entire crowd, when he said it, it's objectifying women, that. The whole crowd was like, yes, Adrian! Everyone went mad for that. But it felt very much like the books, so that looks intriguing. What else did we have? The Worst Witch was probably one of the new ones that was on that I wasn't that bothered about, and Sylvia Young Theatre School. I get why they're there, but to be honest, it's not my bag. I had my Pims listening to Ida Girls and the Opera, which is like tradition. They were on quite late this afternoon. I had to wait a long time for my drink. Like, I drink like twice a year, and that's one of my drinks. So that I'm like, I want my Pims. But they were on at like 5:15. No, not 5:15, 4:15. So that felt long wait. But yeah, you know, I feel like you need to have opera on while you're having a Pims. I don't know why. I just feel that way. Only Fools and Horses were another one of the new ones that were out. They looked pretty good, actually. I'm a bit like, I don't know how I feel about that, but actually it felt very much like he was Del Boy. He tried to flog everyone tickets to Kinky Books and stuff like that. 5 to 9, the musicals, he tried to flog them tickets to. Whoever cast Trigger, well done, cause geez, he don't half look like him. I can see why he got the job. They did, Raquel did a song, Gina Beck, and then they did, obviously, Only Fools and Horses, the theme tune. So everyone in Trafalgar Square was like, bush, 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 bush. That got everyone going. That was a good communal choice of songs there. That I enjoyed that. Waitress came out, Lucy Jones. Now, I'm really kind of feel bad for Lucy because I feel like she got caught up in the storm of the cast announcements and the coming on before she'd been properly announced and all that, and that none of that was her fault. That was just a circumstance and really poor decision making behind the scenes, to be honest. But she's phenomenal. You could have heard a pin drop during She Used to Be Mine. I mean, they had to do that. They had to. There was silence, and then she went, "Come on, everyone, sing," and everyone went mad. Everyone was like belting out "She Used to Be Mine." There was a bit of a technical hitch. Her and David Hunter sang "Pretty Good Bad Idea." I don't know if that's his full title. If it's just called Bad Idea, I can't remember. But his microphone was going. He was like, So he just like grabbed her and they sang from the same microphone, like forehead to forehead, and everyone went mad for that. In fact, they came out on the second day and he came out and looked at the audience and went, and everyone who'd been there previous day was like, yeah, we feel that way too, David. We feel that way too. It made me chuckle. But yeah, they were really good. I didn't know how much I fancied Waitress with all the cast changes because I feel quite strongly that Laura Baldwin has been done over, quite frankly. So yeah, that I feel slightly happier about that just because of how amazing Lucy Jones was. And she came back on the Sunday to do more of Waitress and to sing on her own. She was brilliant. She's got such a terrific voice, and she was just like laughing away all through the Sunday performance, like, "You guys are gonna be sick of me. I've been on like 3 times. How are you feeling? Are you fed up with the sight of me?" She was just so like amazed that these cheers were for her, which was really, really lovely. I liked that a lot. Yeah, she was good. Les Mis came out, as they always do. They did Drink With Me. Also, why is Fewley always like the most tall, dark, handsome man in the West End? I feel like that's a theme that we've gone for. When I saw them doing the sound check on the Friday, because I saw a lot of them, rehearsing and sound checking and blocking and whatnot on the Friday afternoon. Yeah, he came out and I was like, oi oi. Like, he definitely has the look of like a Luke McCall kind of mould of West End men. So that made me chuckle. They did that. They did I Dreamed a Dream, Bring Him Home, obviously, Dean Chisnell, who I remember last year was at the end of his first week. And he's now a year into the role. He was amazing. Again, deadly silence when Bring Him Home started. As soon as you hear God on High, everyone's like, and just stood staring in awe. Yeah, and then they did One Day More, obviously, because you want everyone to come out and you want the flag. So that was always a joy, always amazing to see. Yeah, I liked them. I liked at the soundcheck on Friday, they soundchecked after Phantom of the Opera, and Kelly and Tim, who are the Phantom and Christine. Well, Christine and the Phantom, if we're going name-wise. Tim's not playing Christine, that's not what's going on here. They waited in Trafalgar Square in like the empty bit. They'd cornered off most of it where all the building work and stuff was going on. They were stood in the middle of it like clapping and cheering, and when he did the big key change and Bring Him Home, Tim was there like punching the air, like, yes! He cheered everyone. That was really, really nice to see that two of the biggest shows have two of the biggest friendships, really, I always feel. And it'd be so easy for them to be rivals because they're very much of a kind, but they're not. They're very, very supportive of each other, and that was brilliant. Phantom of the Opera, Kelly did Wishing You Were Somehow Here again, and they did Phantom of the Opera, obviously, which is amazing, but I'm kind of ready for a biggie now. I would really like them next year to do like Masquerade, because I know they did that like 4 or 5 years ago. I remember Nadine posting about it, and that was, supposedly amazing. I wasn't there, but apparently that was a spectacle and a half. So I would like that next year. If anyone from Phantom is watching, can we please have Masquerade? That'd be good. But anyhow, you want Phantom of the Opera, and Les Mis is incredible as well. Loved that. Oh my god, Six. I mean, previous blog, I adored the musical Six. I would quite happily see that every night forevermore. Absolutely loved it. So when they came out on the first day, they very cleverly, because there's 8 of them, I think, in the cast, and they switch it up a little bit. You have like an alternate of each one, so they do like a couple of tracks each. And they very cleverly, over the 2 days of West End Live, all 8 of them had a go, which I thought was really important, because everybody has their favourite Pa, or favourite Howard, or favourite Aragon, or whatever. And I thought that was really clever of them to mix it up, because they don't have like a thing where they hide their understudies. They're really open about, hey, Gracie's on for such and such tonight, or Vicky's on for Pa, or whatever. And I think that's really cool. And I think it was really good that they got everybody out over the course of the weekend on West End Live. So the first day, they did Get Down, which is Anne of Cleves, and Six. Obviously, you've got to do Six. You either have to do Ex-Wives or Six. And they did Get Down in Six, which was great. And the reception for them was absolutely electric. Like, they came out and they're like, right, our next act, deafening roars. Deafening. Nobody needed to be told what it was. And the hosts were like, do you guys know what's coming up? What have we got next? And everyone was like, Sex! So, yeah. And everyone was singing along, everyone was going mad and cheering, and they were like laughing and jumping and cheering back. And I think it's amazing that they are so enthusiastic. It's almost like they kind of can't quite believe that all this is going on, but they're really, really enjoying it. And looking at the programme, I was looking through their like previous credits and stuff. A lot of them are like fresh out of drama school, and it's their first role on the West End. And to have your first role on the West End be something where 50,000 people will stand yelling and screaming and cheering your name in the middle of Trafalgar Square on a Saturday dinner time must just be insane. And yeah, I loved it. The second day they did Six again as their second song, but they did Don't Lose Your Head, which I really, really liked. It was Anne Boleyn's song. She's like, sorry, not sorry. And telling him not to lose the head because she loses his head. Yeah, they opened it on Sunday, and that was such a good choice of an opening number and an opening act, because the atmosphere and the love for Six is huge. It's huge. So that really fired everybody up. Really, really enjoyed that. Thriller, same act, different year basically. And they do like 4 songs. I mean, they don't do the full songs, but they do so many. Every time you think it's over, it's back again, and you think, all right, we've done that, and then Black and White starts, or Thriller starts. I'm just ready for a change of pace. I tell you what I'd like to see from Thriller. I'd like to see Little Michael come out and do like some Jackson 5. I think that'd be clever. With there being no Motown now, I think it'd be good to have a bit of bit of Jackson 5. That'd be a clever idea. Mix it up a little bit. I mean, they're very, very talented people. Very, very talented. And Michael Jackson's music is iconic and is amazing. But I just want to hear a little bit different things now. I feel like that was the mood in the audience, to be honest, a little bit. The people that had been here year after year were like, they're going to do the same thing again, aren't they? Like, yeah, they are. And they did. Which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, God knows Les Mis do One Day More every year, but I don't know. They do different things before that. It would be nice to see a bit of a mix-up. Yeah. Everybody's talking about Jamie was incredible. That was amazing. I tell you what I loved, how many young lads in the audience were dressed like Jamie. They had the denim jacket with the pom-poms on, and so many of them had like beautiful makeup and crystals and all this stuff on their face. And the brilliant thing about West End and musicals and West End Live is they kept showing the advert for like London is open, you know, like we don't care what your race or sexuality or beliefs are, like London is open to you. West End Live feels like that. There was such an atmosphere of like people were like walking past these lads going, love your eye makeup, love what you're doing with mascara, love the glitter and all this, and they were like, thanks, you look amazing too. And everybody was just like that. Everyone was like, you know what, you do you. Whatever you're doing today, you do you. That's cool. It's a really like cool, safe environment in that square during those 2 days. And I love that. I think shows like Jamie and Kinky Boots and stuff like that have done a lot for that. So, well done. West End Live. West End musicals, important things, okay? On the first day, like, 2 blokes got engaged on Katie Cam. Katie always does like a roundabout showing what's in the booths and all this. And she went to the Pim's booth and there was these 2 fellas stood there and they'd come all the way from, I want to say North Korea. And have I spoken about North Korea to somebody else? I can't remember. I feel like North Korea's in my mind. And yeah, they were wearing t-shirts saying King and Queen, and one of them said, I'm your queen, but will you be my king? And got down on his knee and proposed. And they were walking about the square the rest of the afternoon, and everybody was going up, like, clapping them on the back, saying congratulations. Like, you know, everyone was cheering when they went past, like, way, you just got engaged and all this. And they were, like, beaming and grinning from ear to ear. And I loved that. I'm not a fan of public proposals, but honestly, everyone went absolutely insane. Absolutely crackers. So that was, yeah, brilliant. And John Owen Jones was hosting at the time and he was like, they're in love, love is love. And everyone went mad for that too. So yeah, that was cool. That was cool. John Owen Jones did a set, incidentally. He did a song from The Greatest Showman and he did Climb Every Mountain. He's really funny. He came out and, like, I don't dislike John Owen Jones. I do really, really like him. I think he's an amazingly talented man. What I have an issue with is the lazy casting of things when there's like a gap. I feel like he's been in like Phantom and Les Mis just interminably. And that's not his fault at all. And if you get a role like that, you know, I can fully understand why you'd snap somebody's hand off, stay in it for donkey's ears, and all the rest of it. Don't get me wrong, I have no issue with him. I just feel like it's lazy casting, like when there was a gap and they went, oh, get John A. Jones back in. But yeah, he was brilliant. He came out and went, well, I would have liked to have done a bit of Phantom or Les Mis because they're the only lyrics I know. But proper people are here today, so I'm going to have to do something else. Would be like, is anyone from Cardiff? Anyone going back to Cardiff? I've got a gig there tomorrow. I could do the lift, and then at least I know one person who'd come. You know, it's such a dad joke. But yeah, because Magic Mike closed the show, and I was not that bothered about Magic Mike, to say the least. Like, oily men dancing around the stage just don't float my boat, to be quite honest with you. Also, muscles. I don't feel like your innards should be that close to the surface of your skin. That can't be good from a rupturing point of view. So, don't like it. So yeah, I left like 10 minutes before the end when they came on. And John Owen Jones was just leaving. And I was like, can I take a quick picture? And he's like, yeah. So I've got a picture. So you better believe that's going to be below this video, okay? I met a Phantom. I met a Jean Valjean and a Phantom. He's the youngest Phantom in West End history, by the way. He was 26 when he took over the role. Luke McCall is the youngest ever person to play the Phantom and Valjean, I believe, but because it was an understudy, it doesn't count in the same way. John Owen Jones was the youngest full-time. So yeah, I met him outside. I was like, met one Phantom the other year, met another Phantom this year. I was happy at that. Chuffed I was. Made my day. Went and got a Five Guys. Ended up sitting opposite a man from Magic Mike, didn't I? He was having his burger before the show. Now, in this situation, one of us managed to eat a Five Guys burger like a normal human being. The other person managed to get mayonnaise on their nose and was dripping burger juice all down their elbows. I'll leave you to surmise which way round that was. I'll give you a clue. The person who was the cleanest went on stage that night. The person that ended up having to wipe themselves down in a bathroom went to go see 9 to 5 the musical. Yeah. But yeah, anyhow, Magic Mike were on. Long story short. What else was there that day? Louise Dearman did a bit. She was hosting in the morning, and I was like, yes, I love Louise Dearman. She always looks like she's really chuffed to be out and about and doing stuff, and I don't mean that in like a patronising, oh, you got out of the house, love kind of way. Just, it's like she really loves musicals and theatre and West End Live and all this, and it's like she's really excited to be there the whole time. So that was cool. Liked her. She did her set. 9 to 5 were on. I saw the understudy for Judy on the night. Amber Davis was there in the day. To be honest, the understudy was better. I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to Amber. It's just I felt like she was trying to hit the notes and trying to get there, whereas the understudy was like, could have been making an omelette and knitting at the same time as she was reaching the notes. That's, you know, that's just how it was. But yeah, they were there. That was good. Okay, so a Saturday and a Sunday are here. And Juliet. And if anyone's seen the video that I posted when I got back yesterday of that I recorded on the camera, that's really blurry because I was dancing around and is deafening because I'm screaming for Jordan Luke Gage. Yeah, and Juliet. It features Miriam Teak Lee as Juliet, and that he was introduced as our beautiful, sexy Romeo, Jordan Luke Gage, and then there's what I can only describe as a blood curdler of a scream from me going mad for Jordan. Friendly reminder that my letter hung in his dressing room for like months while he played Strat in Bat Out of Hell. But yeah, Oliver Thompson is in there as well, which weirdly they are the two leading men that I have seen from the same seat in the Dominion Theatre. One playing Strat, one playing Galileo in We Will Rock You. But I love them both. So the fact that they were both on stage together singing It's My Life by Bon Jovi, that was everything. Oh, so I was shaking. I was like, I loved it. I cannot wait for Anne Juliet. Cannot wait. They're starting rehearsal soon and it's going to be insane. Miriam did Raw by Katy Perry. It's all Max Martin's songs, so he wrote all these things. It's all his. The second day they did Can't Fight the Feeling as well. No, not Can't Fight the Feeling, that's Rock of Ages. Can't Stop the Feeling, the Justin Timberlake song. But yeah, honestly, I was hoarse by the time they went off because I was just like, no, it's Jordan and I. Like, yeah, fangirl. I had the reaction that most women in the square had to Magic Mike. I was losing my mind. No word of a lie. Love them both. Oh my god. Excited for that. Yeah. So they were on 2 days. They were on the Sunday, so were 6. Lion King did the usual Lion King stuff, but, you know, Can You Feel the Love Tonight and Circle of Life and that. You've got to have those, haven't you? So yeah, they were good. Like them, always like them. Matilda did something different. They didn't bring a Matilda with them. They did When I Grow Up with the adult cast, which it was nice to have something different. But by the same token, I felt like I wanted a Matilda there. It was a bit weird. It'd be a bit like having Les Mis without Jean Valjean or Phantom of the Opera without the Phantom. I wanted a Matilda. It would have been nice to have had something where there's everybody, but I appreciated that they changed it up and didn't do naughty. So that was something. The Barricade Boys, they had a special guest and they'd been teasing this special guest that they weren't announcing like for a couple of weeks. I knew Simon Bailey was going to be there because Simon Schofield wasn't. So I knew it was going to be Kieran and Scott and Simon Bailey. So I was excited anyway because Simon Bailey! Like, oh my god, I love him. It was like, I nearly lost my mind when I found out he was going to be in Jersey Boys when we saw it, because I kind of had given up any hope of seeing him in the West End because I was such a big fan. And then, yeah, he went into a Jersey Boys and I saw him. So I was excited that he was going to be there. because I'm a big fan. And then they said, oh, there's going to be a special guest, it's going to be Wicked. And then it hit me the other day, I was like, oh my god, it's going to be Wicked, that's such a clue. It's going to be someone from Wicked. Who's just been announced for Wicked? Alistair Brammer. I thought, it can't be Alistair Brammer, he's too big, he's too insane, like it's too crazy of a dream, it won't be him. And then they were doing the sound check, I heard One Day More, and I thought, oh my god, it's going to be Barricade Boys. So I was like, right on my tiptoes, trying to turn 5'8" into like 6'13", and yeah, I looked up and on the screen there was Alistair Brammer's face, and I was like, it actually is. I even tweeted, oh my god, just seeing the Barricade Boys special guest with a like gif of a screaming person, and Simon Schofield like tweeted back a little wink and a like, and I was like, yeah, he knows how much everyone's gonna like lose the damn mind in that square today. He's not daft. So when they came out and Alistair was with them, oh my god, everyone went crazy, and I was like, girl, I knew that this morning, but whatever. So yeah, he was amazing. He did empty chairs at empty tables on his own. Oh, phenomenal. Phenomenal. There was actually 3 different acts that are owned by, like, well, not owned by, but are run by Simon Schofield and Scott Garnham. So there was Barricade Boys, and then there was the Knights of Music, who they do songs by the Knights of Music. Anyone that's a sir or a dame. I did not know that the Knights of Music had Oliver Ronson in it. Oh my god. Like, yeah. I always thought he was a bit fatter than that, to be honest. I feel like he's lost weight. But anyhow, they were fantastic. One of the guys in it was a name I can't remember to save my life, but it'll come to me as soon as I press stop on this. He was so like extra and calm. They took the jackets off at one point to do a bit more of like a relaxed, swingy kind of song, and he was like, oh, I'm going to take my jacket off, don't get excited, it's the only thing that's coming off, but it's so close, it's local today, isn't it? They did like an Elton John medley, cause, you know, Rocket Man. That was great, I really, really enjoyed that. And then the third act, that is Simon Schofield and Scott Garnham, was the Best of Frankie Valli in the 4 seasons, so we got Simon back! He closed the show with the others. They were brilliant. I love Jersey Boys anyway, so hearing that, Jersey Boys is behind my head, that one just there. Yeah, I loved hearing those songs again, and because they closed the show, as soon as what a night, boom, when I was like, I'm getting around the back of this store, I can see what's happening here, there's going to be dilly-dallying, I'm going to get behind there before they escape. So yeah, I pegged it round, stood by the stage door. Last year it was just a flap, I swear to you, but now they've got a stage door sign, so they're not daft, they know what's going on here, they know everyone's waiting for the people. And yeah, Simon Bailey came out the door, somebody asked for his autograph, and when he was like, you know, stepping off, I was like, can I be really cheeky and ask for a photo as well, please? And he was like, it's not cheeky at all, of course you can, come here. I'm a bit sweaty though, hope you don't mind if I sweat on you. And I was like, not at all, mate, not at all. So yeah, got a picture of that. I look horrendous because I just look like a thumb with pigtails, and I'm just like, like that's just what my face is doing. He looks amazing. But I caught a Raoul. He played Raoul in Phantom of the Opera. That's where I kind of like first heard him on Royal Varieties and stuff like that. He played him in 2010, so I caught a Phantom one day and a Raoul the second day. How happy am I? Oh, so chuffed. So chuffed. But yeah, what a weekend. What have I missed out? Top tip, when you get into Trafalgar Square on the Sunday, run straight down for a quick wee and then like your spot in front of the stage, because then I didn't have to move all day. Because last year I missed Ben Stock's sing-along, and that honestly was the most fun thing in the world. He basically comes on with a piano and you have to sing along. Like, he puts the lyrics up on screen, so we did Summer Nights, and you haven't lived till you've heard like 40,000 people trying to go high and low to do Danny and Sandy. Like, everyone was like, they're going like, summer loving, trying to change their voices. It was really funny. And then every year we do Do Re Mi from The Sound of Music with actions. Though a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself. Far, a long, long way to run. We do this, and then we do it in double time. So it's like, do, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. And then we do it in triple time, which is really, really hard. Do, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. But yeah, hearing like 30,000 people are trying to do that, laughing, doing the actions and stuff, is hysterical. It was so much fun. I feel like there should be more open air sing-alongs for things. It'd be phenomenal. I really enjoyed that. So a lot of good stuff over the weekend. Buzzing for & Juliet. There was a couple of other new musicals there as well. There was The View Upstairs. Oh my god, The View Upstairs, right? Declan Bennett is in that. He used to be in Point Break. I saw Point Break when they supported Steps on tour in 1999, and I have spent the last 20 years failing to see them again. And on Saturday, I succeeded in finding Dec on a stage. It took me 20 years, but by God, I found him. Yeah, Declan Bennett. How did I forget that? I had a lot of kind of exciting theatre people spots over the weekend. So yeah, View Upstairs, Falsettos looks amazing too. What else? Brooklyn the Musical looked alright. I'm reserving judgment on that. It was a bit too, we're trying to be all cool and poppy for me, but I don't know, maybe like Institute would be totally different. Yeah, lots of good things to come. & Juliet is my top tip for this year, I believe, just because there was such a hype around it. Everyone was excited for it. It's West End royalty. Miriam Teak Lee, Oliver Tomset, Jordan Luke Gage. So yeah, lots of stuff to come. Brilliant weekend. I can't walk now, so I'm gonna go rest my feet upon the sofa and do a bit of typing up of this stuff and make tea and drink tea and recover. Because, yeah, if anyone wants to know what to get me for my 31st birthday, one of those little fold down chairs that fold down to like year big, please, because god damn it, 30 is too damn old to be sat cross-legged on Trafalgar Square floor for 4 hours waiting for leading men. These are the things I've learned this weekend.